congratulations on being
Thank you, Vlad.
honoree.
Thanks for keeping it a secret.
I was very happy to keep it a secret because for the first time ever, I had a little bit of responsibility on the show. But here's one interesting connection. You opened up for Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
And she's a Kennedy Center honoree.
I know. I wanted to get to say that, but there was we didn't have a lot of time. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about careers, and how these long and winding roads where you start meeting people and working with people, and then when I saw that we were together, I opened for her. Back in I'm gonna guess 1975. Yeah, 1975, maybe 76, the latest.
Yeah. One of the things also, Billy, we didn't talk about Jodie Dallas from Soap.
Right.
But I can't imagine what it would have been like when producers and the writers of the show said, hey, we're going to cast the first unambiguously gay character in television history, and we want you to play it.
Yeah, it was we did the pilot in 1976. We came on in 77. And ABC called me, and I had just done my first, I think, 2 Tonight shows and stuff, and I was working as a stand-up, and it was starting to get pretty good. I was starting to do TV, and was finding myself on stage. And they called me in and explained the character, and gave me the Bible for the show, where they thought the character was going to go. Now, this is a long time ago, and what we thought now, thinking back, was it a different America? I don't know, because everything's so confusing now.
Right.
And I thought if we could, make him just a person who happened to be gay, and not, that's who he was, then we could do something important, and then it would be, it would be great to be part of this amazing ensemble, and not have the burden of a whole show on my back, because I was definitely not ready for that. And so I read the first 2, written by Susan Harris, one of the true geniuses I've ever really met in the business. She read the first 68 episodes all by herself.
Wow.
For that amount of people.
Yeah. A huge cast.
And guest stars.
Yeah.
I had one line in the first half hour, but it was just a great group of people to work with. Catherine Hellman, Richard Mulligan, Robert Guillaume, Bob Mandan, Ted Wass played my brother, and in the second one I had the senior showed a little clip of it, in the billboard of the honorees, where he was in his mother's clothes,
right?
And she came in and she said, "Jody, stop wearing my clothes. That's my dress." "Oh, you wear it belted." And that was a huge laugh, and so on and so forth. And I thought, well, where do we go from there, and make him more real and more believable? And then it started to evolve, and I think it took a little while for everyone to calm down, because there was a lot of controversy about the show, and not just me.
Yeah, the whole show was pretty controversial.
Well, because
even my parents were like, "You can't watch that."
It was so tame now.
Yeah,
but it was the lead character, Jessica Tate, who's played by Catherine Hellman. She had an affair with a younger man.
Right.
That was the
scandal. I know.
and that my cousin Diana Canova, she seduces a priest who was her old boyfriend in the confessional.
Yeah.
And that was it. So that was a thrilling and scary thing to be thrust into America's living rooms as their first, look at me.
Yeah. But then, and this will be the last question I ask you, but from Jodie Dallas, through all of these iconic characters that we talked a little bit about on the show, obviously Harry Burns from When Harry Met Sally, but Mitch from City Slickers and Dr. Ben from Analyze This, Miracle Max and The Princess Bride. You said something very touching to me, which I hadn't read anywhere, that every role that you've ever had, you've played opposite your wife Janice. Yeah. So that in the case of When Harry Met Sally, Janice was Sally.
She would read, and still does, run lines with me, usually the night before a shooting or whatever. And in the process, would you run this with me? And she's a really very good actress herself. But she's been Sally. She was Curly.
That's amazing.
She was.
Did she do the one thing?
Oh yeah.
Did really?
Any lines that we had to do, we did together. She was Hamlet, where I played the grave digger opposite Ken Brown.
Yeah.
She was Owen in Throw On from the Train. Every character. It's always the thing like, hey, run with me, right? Would you run with me? And has very perceptive notes also, which I take from her. So,
but she's known you forever. She's known you since you guys were
since
teenagers.
18 and 17. And every up and every down, every moment of my life, both positive and negative, thrilling and scary, I'm a lucky guy.
I love that.
And I almost went. Just with you guys now, when you said, "What do you think?" I said, I thought of, and I thought of the blur of a life, of making my relatives and my parents. You start by making your parents laugh, and then your family, and then my brothers and I were really funny together. It was a golden age of television. Sid Caesar, Burns and Allen, The Honeymooners, Steve Allen, all of these things, and on CBS, the Ed Sullivan Show for Sunday, and that's what I grew up on. And that's was the the juice was that laughter in that living room in our house out in Long Beach. I think about it all the time because if I bombed, I don't know if I end up here.
Well, we are the ones who've now grown up watching you and love your work. And I did ask you. Everybody talks about the line from When Harry Met Sally, which is I'll have what she's having, which I know you came up with that and you ad-libbed it. But I told you the one that I love is when you're on the plane with Sally and you say, "The white man's overbite," because my entire family looked over at me when they first saw the movie and they go, "How does he know you? Because that is your move." And I'm like, "But you invented that line," and we were trying to figure out the origin of it.
Yeah, it was in the plane, and I just came.
And you did like this. You went like this.
Because that's how I music dance too.
I love it. Billy Crystal, thank you very much.
Thank you,
It's
Vlad.
such an honor.
Thanks, man.